Wow, this is my third I Am Creation retreat. One of the facilitators, and I'm also a participant. I've taken away so much. Some of the things that have been going on is one, there's just such a collective love and care and support system. I have seen people just transform from one person that you wouldn't even recognize them. First, they came in closed and they come out open. What an incredible experience. And I've learned a lot. For me, took away some learning around unconditional love in Mateo's workshop. I got really silly and fun with Setiarti. We hiked a mountain. I learned some lessons about when you get in a rock in your shoe, there's no advantage to waiting and just how to stay on the path and moving from light to dark. So for me, it's not only a way to serve others, it's a way to be served and to learn and to be with people that are just inspiring, who are incredible masters at their craft. And I'm honored to be here. I can't wait for the next one. So if you're interested in becoming part of this, if you're interested in getting more aligned and shedding a lot of limiting beliefs and walking out a different person, then this retreat is for you, because it's really helped me a lot. Hello, everyone. I'm Joe Che, one of the facilitators here at I Am Creation. And for me, my passion is to help people really get into their soul's alignment and make some money at it. For me, everything is about extraordinary alignment in your communication, in your careers, in your connection. This is my passion. And one of the things that we do here, or one of the things that I do here, is what we call a six-figure soul purpose, where we answer a lot of questions, and it's going to come back and it's going to give you ways to make a lot of money doing what you truly love and clear a lot of the limiting beliefs. And this is something that I would love to see you in your power. I would love to see you waking up every day just excited to get out of bed and go do the thing that you're meant to do. And we create that space here at I Am Creation. We'd love to have you along for that ride. I also teach a lot on communication, because I realize in my journey that it is really the main thing that creates healthy relationships in your life, healthy connections. So I teach a lot on communication, such as the art of listening, the art of a difficult conversation, how to take you to I statements at very high levels, even above nonviolent communication. These are frameworks I've created lots of AI associated with them. And I'm really excited to share that with you. And I'm excited just to go deep. I'm excited to see you walk in here, one person, and walk out someone else. So if you're someone that is successful in your life, but doesn't feel like you're doing the thing you really should be doing, this is for you. Come join us for the retreat here in Bali. It's beautiful here. So much love and belonging. If you're really desiring that, I'd love to spend some time with you, get to know you, and be in service of your mission to help others.
Welcome to I Am Creation podcast. And today we will take you on a journey to explore soul purpose, the mission, alignment. And I feel that this human being is the best person to talk about soul purpose. I'm blessed to meet him on this journey, and he really helped me to go deeper and to find the answers that helped me to find my passion and purpose so I can serve people. And he helped so many other people around the world, and businessman with 12 successful business ventures. He's a speaker. He is a mentor coach. He created a connection map. He's organizer of the events and retreats and one of the best festival in Bali. And today we will go deep into to explore this topic of the soul purpose. So, Joe, can you please introduce and tell more about yourself, your journey?
Thank you, Alena. It's an honor to be here and part of your journey. This is someone who I dearly love, and we have kind of attached with a very similar mission. And it's been interesting because in the beginning, we didn't know what that connection was. We knew there was something strong there. We played with the romantic part, and the truth was, I think we were going to kill each other at some points, but there was a lot that was uncovered in that. And really, what they call a dharmic and a karmic relationship, right? The karmic relationship teaches us stuff so we can get to our dharmic one. And it turns out if anyone wants to date me, everyone that dates me finds their dharmic relationship and soulmate immediately after,
Yes.
including you. So I'm really grateful to be on this journey with you. I really trust you deeply. So my journey is the question. It comes from being out of alignment. It comes from feeling lonely, disconnected, not feeling like I had my people and not surrounded with the things that where I can feel fully expressed. What I learned is when I don't have those, the option is to go without it or to build it.
You are building it successfully.
So sadly, I've had to do a lot of building it. I don't know if that's, maybe I'm a little weird or a little different, but it was necessary. I couldn't find the communities and the spaces that I could feel fully expressed. And so I built a lot of them. You know, I was actually thinking about it. My first community I built was 30 years ago.
Wow.
God, this feels like a long time. It was a live music community. And I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot about what community is and also the disconnection that comes with community because it's so loud. They're in bars. You know, we're in a band. And so it was like a way to help create community around being in bands and that live music. And it's at the age of the internet. So I learned HTML, was hand coding web pages. And they were ugly. And I remember when digital cameras came out, I was walking around with these giant like a bag full of floppy disks, taking pictures and eventually videos of these bands. And it was the first time that was ever done in a music community. So it had been 30 years of communities. I had the largest cooking community, Burning Man communities, couch surfing community I was involved with and helped with in Bali. I had a co-living. And I founded with my partner, Timothy, and that went on for a long time. It's still going on and in Bali. So the journey has really been about extraordinary alignment on the top. Then the pillars to that are communication, connection, which is communities, just a collection of connections, and career. Because the reality is, what do you do most in your life?
Communication for sure and connecting to people. Yeah.
Yeah. And your career is what most people are spending most of their time on. So when those are out of alignment, we're very out of alignment. And when our relationships are out of alignment, we're not that happy. There's a study by the Harvard adult development that was very directly said that healthy relationships are the key to happiness, even over health, exercise. And it's like, wow, how do we do that? Because I have been screwing it up a lot. And I'm pretty sure you know that intimately. So the reality is, how do we have that? So it's communication. And even studying communication still screw it up. And there's something that I always say, which is the thing that we become an expert at is the thing that we need the most for ourselves.
Yes.
And a lot of coaches, which I don't identify as a coach, by the way, I only identify as a mentor, which is very different.
Mentor. Joe is mentor.
Yes, because mentors help from already having done something. Coaches help you even if they haven't done it. I don't help people if I haven't had the experience with it or with that type of business or idea. So, so it's like what you're doing, like what are you doing in your life right now? Like with this I Am Creation retreat.
I am on the mission to bring more connection, light, awareness, consciousness to people and awaken the souls.
Yeah.
And creating the safe space for them to really come back home and connect to themselves and finding this alignment, purpose, and all other things that they are yearning for. And that's why I have these incredible teachers like you and 12 other teachers that can bring your gifts into the space and share and be the mentors, be the guides for people, because you all experience it. And now you're on the path to serve people and share this knowledge and wisdom with them.
Yeah. Why are you doing this? You gave your mission, which is a beautiful one.
Yes.
Why do you think you're really doing it?
This is my purpose. This is what, like, you know what, every morning I wake up and just thinking about this idea that I will create the spaces or I will talk to the person that will be the participant for the retreat, it takes me from the bed. There is like this inner fire when I think about this. I'm so passionate about it. I have so much energy to do these things. It's like, this is the way how I live life. I don't know. I can't imagine my life without this passion, without this creativity, without this creation. I can't. This is part of me now.
Yeah. That's how you know she's in her soul's purpose. And if you saw how much energy this woman has, try spending 4 hours on a karaoke bus with her. It is infinite. And it's something that I really admire about you is when you're really in your zone of genius, it's just like you're like the Energizer. There was this commercial in the US of this Energizer bunny. It's like you.
It's like me without coffee and without any substances. It's like me just singing karaoke for 3 hours in the bus or doing the breath work or meditation. I'm high. I'm high just to live the life.
And I would suggest that one of the underlying reasons you're doing this is you need this for you.
For sure.
You need to be surrounded with this constant transformation, this ways to upgrade, to learn, upgrading communication, maybe even listening techniques, and not pointing any fingers. And, being in this breath work, this work that's really getting you to higher states without drugs or alcohol. And, my suspicion is something in you is that's what you truly desire. And the thing that we truly desire for ourselves and need for ourselves is the thing that we tend to bring out to the world. That's why when there's vulnerability coaches, it's probably because they struggle with vulnerability, or at least have in the past. When there's life coaches, it's usually because they're struggling with their own lives and they need that support, and they need to find structures. They need to find frameworks that can help get them there. And then that helps share. And I know that to be true for myself. I'll be first to admit that, like the connection map, I wanted to know what makes a really healthy long-term relationship, because I was missing it. I would get really close and I was just missing it. So I needed to break it down. So this is a framework similar to a Myers-Briggs or an Enneagram, where you take a quiz and it gives you the results. Are you a bunny black hole connection? Are you a puppy lovership? Are you a rooted co-pilot? We have a whole dictionary, and one of my missions is to really switch and upgrade the language of human connection, because Alena's my friend, Ilya's my friend, John's my friend. It doesn't say anything about the connection. So, but I needed that for me because I felt it missing in the world. And it was like, okay, what is it? Why isn't this working? Why does this feel close? There's so many amazing things. Like with us, our lifestyle alignment was a 10. Our values alignment was a 10. There was a lot of things that were a 10, and there were some things that were low. And it's like, by being able to see it, we can name it and see if we can fix it, or wait for John to come along and just be a much, much better fit. Right. And so I think this is some of the things I've been dedicating my life to is creating ways to get people into their extraordinary alignment through the communication, the relationships, and the careers.
What would be the steps how the person can find the soul alignment? Mm-hmm. What would be your recommendations? Where they should start?
So I was teaching a concept called ikigai for a long time around the world, which is it's a Japanese sort of your reason for being, it translates. And it asks for questions. It asks, what are you good at? What do you love to do? What can you get paid for? And what do you think the world needs? Yeah. And then the intersection is the ikigai. Now, when I was teaching that and doing that a lot, I was noticing it wasn't quite nailing people's soul purpose. It was getting them into things that were very wishy-washy, etc. So I started asking the questions. What questions do we need to ask to really get into that? And so I created a process called Icky Girl.
I love it. I love it.
As a little play to the icky guy. And this is a bunch of questions. I have a whole program on this where you answer it. And then when you send it to myself and the team, and we'll actually give you 3 or 4 ways that you can make at least 100,000 US minimum a year doing what you truly love based on what you gave us. And it includes things like your past history, your work history, what do you love to do? If you never had to work for money again, what would you do? You know, what are you curious about? There's a lot of questions in there. So we actually give that back to you. And if we nail it, then great. You get put in a group accountability for 3 months, and then you start creating the tasks. We help you create the tasks to actually execute that. And if not, we iterate back and forth. If we go back and forth and we can't come up with something that you're excited about and feels right to you, just give you your money back, because it's probably not on us. It's probably some other blocks that are coming.
And in reality, we did, like, I think, how many people? 6 people came.
Oh.
Like during the retreat, we did it. We gave people the opportunity to go and feel, answer the question and feel the answers into his program. And then people came to the stage to share what were the results, and it was like, oh my God, 98%, 100%. And people really got the answers regarding their soul alignment. And they were like, wow, it's real and it's fast. You just spend 20 minutes answering simple questions, really simple questions. But then, like, through these programs, through the method that John created, like, you can really go deep and get the answers. And the only thing you need to do is just to check what are the possibilities there, what resonates more, and just start to do the actions, right?
Yeah, and feel into it. Because sometimes you think you know what you want to do, and then you hear it and you're like, actually, I don't really want to do that. But it gets you closer. The idea with alignment is you just start focusing. You have a very wide beam. And then over time, you start focusing. And the more focused you are, the more impact and purpose you're going to feel. And here's the beautiful part. The more others are going to feel that purpose and receive that gift, your gift. So really getting to your purpose and making money is a gift to the whole world, you know? So I love that. When there was a couple people that went up, and we did the short version. My program's much longer and we go much deeper, but even the short version, they came back, they're like, oh my God, this feels so good in my body. I was in the corporate finance in Switzerland, and I'm going to now do this. And it's like, and you just see their eyes, right? And then they commit to it, to themselves. God, that brings me so much joy.
How you can explain the alignment in the simple words and how people can feel it?
Yeah, I mean, you feel it. It's the thing that resonates. Your alignment, and you know you're in alignment when you're waking up in the morning.
I know.
You're ready to get out of bed. You're excited to go do the thing that you know is yours.
Yeah.
And you're just so joyous hearing the feedback. Oh my God, this retreat changed my life. This program changed my life. My family now loves me more. I love my family more. You know, I was teaching communication, and then I had a conversation with my mother using your framework. And for the last 15 years, we haven't talked, and now we're actually talking again. That gets me out of bed in the morning. That makes me feel great, and it makes them feel good. So, you know, the way I like to think about it is, if you believe that you have a job to do, if we're inside of a body, you are a red blood cell, you are a white blood cell, you are a neuron in the brain. Whatever your function is, when you're doing it, it flows. People are magnetized to you. It doesn't feel like you're pushing that rock up the hill or punching that card. You're just like, everything. And you know this, when you're in alignment, it's like everything just comes to you.
Yes. For me, it's completely different. Like I could feel a whole difference. Like, as example, when I was working in my corporate business, how I can define it now, I was selling my soul for money, for success, for the achievement. And what I'm doing now, it's like really, it feels like a soul purpose. I can feel it in every cell, in my blood, it just in my body. And it's so intense sensations and feelings. And to see how, when I'm in alignment with my purpose, how other people, like teachers, people are asking me how I'm getting 12 certain teachers to the retreat. It's just because I have this alignment with my purpose and I'm so passionate about it that other people start to be passionate about it. It's like this fire hits everyone and people just want to come here, want to be in the space, want to co-create. And this power of the co-creation, what we are doing here, to bring all these purposes, the gifts that we have together in one space so we can be in service to people. I mean, it's so powerful and transformational. And like, I'm happy to say that this is life-changing retreat for people.
Yeah.
And to hear like one of the participants, after 3 hours, she was sitting in the car and she was like, this is the best day of my life.
Yeah.
And we were just hiking the Batur during the night, singing the karaoke, simple things. But the experience that she went through, the emotion, sensation, connection with the people that she got, all the tools that she got brought her to this place of gratitude and acknowledgement. Oh, wow, this is really the best day of my life. And to hear this, it's so exciting. So I'm happy that I've switched from selling my soul for money to finding my soul purpose. And like just following this purpose brings so much joy, aliveness, abundance, wealth, connections, real connection, real human being connections.
Yeah. And it starts with, what you really put together, and the journey for the retreat is, it's the connection to others, connection to self, and then kind of connection to the higher source. And yeah, it's done really well. And it's like, I think it's amazing that you're not, I call it chopping onions, because I hate chopping. I had this job and it required me to just chop tons of onions, and my eyes are puffy and closed for hours. To this day, I will not chop onions. I just refuse to do this. And it's like, I was miserable. I was chopping onions in trade for, back then it was probably $5 an hour, right? To just do something that was miserable to me. So if there's anyone out there that's chopping onions or doing something that's miserable to them, I just need to tell you, it is absolutely possible for you to stop and find something that you can make money at that you love. And there's an example, and I haven't met a single person that hasn't been able to find something because they want to. They know.
Sure.
They know. And we all know, like, do what you're made to do. Because when you're doing what you're made to do, it flows, you make money, you have a great time, you're in joy. And that joy brings so much joy to everyone. Like, your joy is infectious. It's literally infectious. You get around you and you're just like, one, you're like, how is that possible? That's a lot. And two, it just magnetizes. I see people that are, I don't want to say out of your league because they're in your league, but people who have a much bigger name just be like, yes, I would love to do that from you because I feel this from you. And I know that you are on your mission. I know you will help people. If you were, in your corporate job chopping onions, how many people are going to do that? No one's going to get behind you, right? If you're punching that clock or making widgets go 3% faster, nothing wrong with that. You're not hurting anyone, but is it really bringing you the joy?
Yeah. I would really love to touch the topic of the 4 level of consciousness that we were talking about during the retreat. And I feel that this is really very important topic for people to understand, like, more about what they are doing and where they can grow in terms of the consciousness and how they can do it. So I really want you to share and tell more about it.
Yeah, I share a framework called the 4 stages of consciousness to help people get over some limiting beliefs. So the 4 stages of consciousness that I give is 1, you are the victim. Things happen to you. For example, I'm always getting hit by the car and it's not my fault. I got hit by the car. I'm late for work. It's never your fault. Level 2 is the doer. Things happen by you. I work hard. I push. I roll the rock up the hill, and I'm driving the car and I'm driving the car fast. I'm in control of the car. That's the doer. And then 3 is the conductor. Things happen through me. So just like a conductor of an orchestra, minimal hand gestures. And notice the conductor isn't usually an expert in every single one of those instruments. He knows what should happen when, minimal movement, and this whole symphony happens. So if you're the conductor, it's like, I own the fleet of the cars, I own the drivers, and I'm telling them where to go when. Or maybe they're even figuring out who to pick up and when, because I built the application for that to happen. I built an Uber, right? Then the 4th stage is the awaken state, which is things happen as me. And that one is a longer conversation. But the important part in teaching this is we look to see, where are we victims? Where do we make ourselves the victims? It's not my fault. I'm going to quit this job when I have enough financial security. I'm going to leave this toxic relationship when this, I can't have a good relationship because this person is abusing me. And don't get me wrong, there are real victims in the world, but we're talking about the energy of making yourself a victim and not owning that we are the creators of all of our reality, which is a big topic. It's a bit triggering for some people. But as I'm studying and learning, especially even in the science field, I'm believing this more and more and more, that we create our own reality.
For sure. And why it's important to understand these levels, how people can transit from one level to another, what can help them.
Yeah. 1, write down your limiting beliefs. Write down the narratives and stories. Write down the excuses that you've heard yourself give your partner or loved ones or job, but mostly yourself. Try to find the beliefs. I mean, I did this exercise with them.
I really want you to share the example of what we were doing and how we were flipping this limiting belief. I really think that this kind of simple, flipping the limiting belief can help people to transit from one level of consciousness to another. And it's easier. But again, nobody, you can't find this information in schools, right? Nobody's teaching us this.
Yeah. Do you remember any of the examples that we could use? There was some really good ones. We won't name names, but trying to think what were some of those examples of the victimhood. One was,
I can't allow myself to live a good life, or I need to take care of other people first.
Oh yeah. One of them was, taking care of myself first is aggressive or no, egotistical.
Egoist, yeah.
Taking care. So one of the participants realized their limiting belief through this exercise that I gave was, taking care of myself first is egotistical and selfish. So we looked at that, and that honestly is a very popular limiting belief for most people.
Yeah.
Especially I was raised Catholic, and one of the core values is this idea of it's noble to suffer and to give away your things and to, put other people first.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because even saying that, I feel shame. I can feel a little bit of shame that's still in there, being
I can feel too. It's triggering. It's triggering,
right?
Yeah.
But, there's a good example of, in the airplanes, you put on your oxygen mask first before you put on your kids, right? And that's triggering for a lot of people because as a parent, our sole purpose is just to keep this child alive, right? That's like base programming in us. And the reality is, if you're dead, you can't put that on.
Yeah.
So if your cup's not filled, you can't serve others. So we took this limiting belief and then we asked the question, how do you say the opposite? What is a statement? And you watch people search for that statement. And then as soon as they start to get it, it starts to feel uncomfortable. And then it usually comes with
triggers and shame and guilt.
And then and usually comes with some crying.
Yes.
And being like, oh my God. And then there's the unlock and it breaks.
Yeah.
That limiting belief breaks. And then it's just about living it after that. So do you remember what hers was? What she came out on the other end was, by taking care of myself first.
I take care of others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I have permission to take care of myself. I give myself permission
Yeah.
to take care of myself.
So I can take care of others. Yeah.
So I can then take care of others. Or taking care of myself first is taking care of others. So, and then when she got up and said it, it was like crack, and there was a lot of examples of
this.
But
again, like even flipping this limiting belief, it was so difficult for people to say it after. Like it could take few minutes for people to own it or to give a permission to themselves really to say it out loud, because it's again this the voices of judgment, controller, and all other things that Matteo is talking about. It's so powerful in the head because we were raised like through all our life we were thinking that we need to take care of others first, and then you see this limiting belief, you meet it, you face it, and then okay, what should I do? Okay, we are flipping it, but then am I allowed to change it? Really? Like for people to get this permission to do something else, it takes time, right?
Yeah. And you got to feel it in your body. You can't just think it. And this is something that you're very good at is making sure that the knowledge or the idea gets applied on a somatic level in the body and clear it in the body. Which I think is great.
Because in reality, like everything what we learn is just the information. It becomes a wisdom only when we take it to the body, when we experience, when we embody this information, then it's become a wisdom. And for me, it's really important not just to give the information to people, but really create again the space for them to experience, to see it, to feel it in their body, to see where is